Hey there, YouTube family. Welcome back to our channel, where we unravel the mysteries of human connection and the fascinating world of emotions. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We wouldn't want you to miss any of our exciting deep dives into relationships and the human psyche. The secrets to happiness, what Harvard study teaches us about love. For over 80 years, Harvard University conducted one of the longest studies on happiness, uncovering a simple yet profound truth. Meaningful relationships are the cornerstone of a happy and long life. But let's be honest, nobody hands us a manual on how to build or maintain these relationships. From my own experiences, I've learned a lot about love, heartbreak, and the complexities of human connection. Today, I want to share lessons I wish I knew in my 20s, along with stories and actionable advice to help you navigate this intricate world of relationships. Signs of a healthy relationship. When I was younger, I thought I could identify a good relationship through superficial signs, like a Cosmo quiz or whether we had the same hobbies. Over time, I realized that true compatibility goes deeper. A good relationship is one where both partners feel secure enough to pursue individual passions without fear of abandonment. Let me share a funny example. Have you ever noticed how dog owners sometimes resemble their pets? It's amusing, but in relationships, we unconsciously mirror our partners. Once, my friend's girlfriend, who had never watched a football match, suddenly became the sport's biggest fan, all because her boyfriend loved it. While it's great to share interests, it's also crucial to retain your own identity. Insecurity or possessiveness often stems from unhealthy attachment patterns, like the way some dogs experience separation anxiety when their owners leave. Relationships thrive when there's trust and space, a balance that allows both partners to flourish individually. Alicia Keys once said, "The tightest grip is an open hand." Imagine holding a butterfly. Clenching your fist might keep it from flying away, but you'll also damage its wings. Loving with an open hand, with trust and freedom, is the key to a healthy bond. How hard should love be? A journey worth exploring. Love, at its core, is a journey, but the question remains, how hard should that journey be? Is it a marathon that tests your endurance, or a gentle hike that brings joy and growth? Let's dive into what it really means to navigate the complexities of. Imagine walking into a gym, faced with racks of weights. Picking up a featherlight dumbbell won't help you grow stronger, but grabbing the heaviest barbell in sight could lead to injury. Relationships are much the same. They should challenge you to grow, push you toward being a better version of yourself, but they shouldn't break you. Have you ever wondered how past generations viewed love? It's fascinating to hear older couples talk about the sacrifices they made to stay together. Back then, there was no swiping left or right, no endless pool of options. But while their challenges were tied to societal expectations and fewer choices, today's struggles are shaped by the overwhelming illusion of endless possibilities. Think about it. Apps like Tinder and Bumble have made it easier than ever to meet people. But with that ease comes the nagging thought, is there someone better out there? This mindset can lead to giving up too soon, abandoning a relationship at the first sign of conflict, instead of working through it. Yet, here's the truth. Love isn't about finding someone who fits perfectly into your life like a puzzle piece. It's about two people deciding to shape their lives together, one step at a time. Real love requires effort. It's about learning your partner's language, their joys, fears, and dreams, and building a connection that feels like home. But let me ask you this. How often do we confuse effort with struggle? If a relationship feels like you're constantly climbing a steep mountain with no end in sight, maybe it's time to reassess. Love should feel like teamwork. It's about lifting each other up during hard times, not dragging each other through an endless uphill battle. The best relationships challenge you in the best ways. They push you to be vulnerable, to grow, and to be self-aware. But they also provide balance, a space where you can feel safe, loved, and seen. It's not about perfection from day one, but about the commitment to grow together every day. So, how hard should love be? Hard enough to make you a better person, but never so hard that it makes you question your worth. If you've ever felt the weight of love's challenges, stay tuned. This video will help you explore the balance between effort and harmony, showing you what it means to truly thrive in a relationship. Let's uncover the secrets to love that doesn't just survive but thrives. Finding love, the secret to becoming your best self. Love is a journey, not just toward someone else, but also toward yourself. We all dream of finding that perfect partner, but have you ever stopped to think, what makes you ready for that love? The truth is, the foundation of a great relationship starts with understanding and valuing yourself. Imagine shopping for a car. You wouldn't pick the first one you see, right? You'd weigh the pros and cons, compare models, and think about your budget. Relationships are no different. To make the best deal in love, you need to understand your own worth. What are your unique qualities? What strengths and quirks make you you? The better you know yourself, the less likely you'll settle for less than you deserve. Let's take a moment to dive deeper. For example, I'm someone who struggles with anxiety. I need emotional support in my life. But I also know that I'm incredibly loyal, empathetic, and committed. By recognizing both my needs and my strengths, I've learned what I require in a partner. Someone who is patient enough to navigate my anxious moments, but also values the loyalty and care I bring to the table. Now think about your own traits. What do you bring to a relationship? What do you need from a partner to feel supported and fulfilled? Taking time to reflect on these questions isn't just self-discovery, it's self-empowerment. Here's an exercise that can change your perspective. Grab a notebook. Write down everything you'd want in an ideal partner. Be specific: kindness, humor, ambition, patience, whatever matters most to you. Reflect on yourself. Go through the list and check off the traits you already embody. If you find gaps, don't worry. Instead of feeling discouraged, see this as an opportunity. Start investing in yourself. If you value ambition in a partner, ask yourself, how can I cultivate more ambition in my own life? If you want kindness, practice it daily. Becoming your best self doesn't mean becoming perfect. It means aligning your values with your actions and striving to grow in ways that attract the kind of love you deserve. When you work on yourself, you're not just preparing for love. You're building the confidence and resilience to recognize when love is real. But let me leave you with a question. What's stopping you from becoming the kind of person you'd want to be with? If you're seeking honesty, are you honest with yourself? If you want someone supportive, do you practice self-support? This isn't about fixing flaws. It's about becoming whole. When you know your worth, you stop chasing people who don't see it. Instead, you draw in those who do. Why we fall for the wrong people and how to stop. Have you ever found yourself, or maybe a close friend, stuck in a cycle of dating the wrong people? You know the type. Relationships that feel thrilling at first but end in heartache or frustration. Maybe you've heard them say things like, I just love them. I know they'll change. Or, it's my destiny to always attract the wrong ones. But here's the truth. It's not destiny. It's a pattern. And more often than not, the problem isn't just the person they're dating. It's something deeper, rooted in familiarity. Let's break it down. Dysfunctional relationships often feel safe, not because they're good for us, but because they mirror what we've normalized from our past, whether it's from childhood, previous relationships, or societal expectations. Imagine growing up in an environment where love was conditional or inconsistent. Your brain starts associating that inconsistency with love itself. Fast forward to adulthood, and guess what? Those same unhealthy dynamics feel oddly comforting. even if they're not good for you. I'll share a real-life example. A friend of mine, let's call her Sarah, had a habit of falling for emotionally unavailable partners. Every time a relationship ended, she'd blame herself or hold on to hope that they'd change. It wasn't until she took a step back and reflected on her past that she realized the root of the issue. Sarah had grown up with a distant father who rarely showed affection. Subconsciously, she was drawn to people who mirrored that same emotional unavailability because it felt familiar, even though it was painful. The first step to breaking free from these patterns is awareness. Take a moment to reflect on your own relationship history. Do you notice any recurring themes? Are you drawn to certain types of people or behaviors that ultimately leave you feeling unfulfilled? Here's where it gets empowering. Once Sarah recognized her pattern, she didn't just stop dating altogether. Instead, she started working on herself. She built her self-worth by addressing her past wounds and learned how to set healthy boundaries. For example, she made a rule for herself. If someone couldn't communicate their feelings openly within the first few months, she wouldn't invest further in the relationship. Over time, these boundaries became second nature, and Sarah began attracting partners who valued and respected her. If you're nodding along and thinking, "That sounds like me," don't worry, you're not alone. And you're not doomed to repeat the cycle forever. Here are 3 steps to start shifting your patterns. Reflect on your past. Think about your early experiences with love and relationships. What messages did you internalize about love from your parents or caregivers? Were there any patterns of behavior that might have shaped your expectations? Build self-worth. Recognize that you deserve a relationship built on mutual respect, care, and trust. Start by treating yourself the way you'd want a partner to treat you. This might mean practicing self-compassion, pursuing hobbies that make you happy, or surrounding yourself with supportive friends. Set clear boundaries. Healthy relationships require boundaries. Identify what behaviors are deal breakers for you and stick to them. It's not about being rigid. It's about protecting your emotional well-being. Now, imagine this. Instead of repeating old patterns, you step into a relationship that feels truly fulfilling, one where you're not chasing someone's affection or doubting your worth. It's possible, but here's the catch. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth. And as you grow, you'll start noticing red flags earlier, walking away from what doesn't serve you, and finally making space for the love you truly deserve. So let me ask you, are you ready to break free from those patterns and rewrite your love story? If you're still watching, you've already taken the first step. Stick around, because the next few minutes might just change the way you see love and yourself forever. The takeaway: building lasting connections and why it's worth it. What does it really take to build a connection that lasts? Is it about finding someone who completes you? Or is there something deeper, something more fulfilling? Let's dive into this together. At its core, love isn't about searching for someone to fill the gaps in your life. It's about 2 whole individuals coming together, not out of need, but out of choice. Think of love like holding a butterfly. If you close your fist too tightly, you'll crush its wings. But if you keep your hand open, giving it freedom, it'll stay with you willingly. Now, let's talk about the pillars of lasting connections. Trust. Trust isn't just about honesty. It's about consistency. It's built brick by brick through actions, not just words. Without trust, love feels like walking on eggshells, constantly wondering if the foundation will hold. Communication. They say communication is the lifeblood of relationships, but it's not just about talking. It's about truly listening. Can you listen without planning your response? Can you speak your truth without fear of judgment? Healthy communication creates a space where both people feel seen, heard, and valued. Individual growth. Here's a secret. The strongest relationships aren't between 2 people who are constantly glued together. They're built on the foundation of two individuals who continue to grow independently while supporting each other's journeys. When you grow as a person, you bring more to the relationship, more understanding, more compassion, and more love. But here's the hard truth. Relationships aren't meant to be easy all the time. There will be moments of disagreement, misunderstandings, and even doubt. The question isn't whether love will challenge you. It will. The question is the effort worth it? Let me share a quick story. A couple I know went through a rough patch early in their marriage. They came from different cultural backgrounds, and their ways of communicating were worlds apart. At one point, it seemed easier to give up than to keep trying. But instead of walking away, they made a choice to grow together. They sought counseling, learned each other's love languages, and, most importantly, gave each other grace during the process. Today, their relationship is stronger than ever. The lesson here? Love isn't about perfection. It's about commitment. It's about saying, I choose you, even on the hard days. So, what's the ultimate takeaway? Love isn't a fairy tale where everything magically falls into place. It's a journey, sometimes messy, sometimes challenging, but always rewarding if both people are committed to the same goal, building something real and lasting. Before you go, ask yourself, what kind of connection are you looking for? And more importantly, are you willing to put in the effort, not just to love someone else, but to love yourself enough to demand the same in return? Because when two people commit to mutual respect, trust, and growth, love transforms from something fleeting into something that truly stands the test of time. If you've made it this far, I know you're ready to take the first step, or maybe the next step, toward building the kind of relationship you deserve. Let's make that journey worth